The Stephie Smalls Show on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Edge Boost. Earn up to $750 per month on your sports gambling transactions. Go to edgeboost.bet. Promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm, the leader in data-driven picks and props. Rhythm is giving away a $250 future and throwing a March Madness party. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/party for details and gear up for March with Merch Madness. Promo code MADNESS for 20% off in the SGPN store. Get in now before the promo code is done.
Are you ready?
Technically last day before the weekend because golf is on tomorrow, which means the weekend starts tomorrow. This is episode numero dos as a part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Adam Pelletier is going to help us figure out how true degens can bet arena football. Impressively, I really did not talk about football at all on Monday. I think I mentioned the Giants one time. So I'm going to bring on fellow tortured Giants fan Terrell to talk some NFL draft. And then we'll round things out with my friend Matt Gannon for final API bets. So without further ado, how's it going, Adam? Bring Adam on. Adam Pelletier on X, SGPN. Arena Football 1 hype man. How's it going?
It's good. It's good. How's everything with you? Well, first off, welcome to SGPN. We're excited to have you on board the squad there. We know that this has been, longtime friend of the network. Yeah. Excited to finally have you officially on board the team.
Yes, I feel like I have listened to you. I know about you. I've interacted with you, but it's nice to get you onto the show. And we're going to talk about something that I don't know a lot about. But the thing is, when football ends, everyone could, people get MLB this, NBA that. Like, it doesn't scratch the itch. So I feel like we're always looking for other ways to gamble. And you know all about Arena Football 1. Like, what's the deal with this new league? Like, what should we expect?
So you should expect everything people come to know and love about Arena Football. And I think the biggest thing, people are going to say, why are we going to play Arena Football? Why am I going to watch Arena Football? I could watch the UFL. It's not as good as college. What I'm going to say is there's a different caliber of athlete that's playing in Arena Football 1 versus who's playing in the UFL. A guy in the UFL is going to be safer, is going to try to do a lot of things to make sure that he gets that NFL look. The Arena Football guys are going to ball out 24/7, and they have one speed because they know they have to hit it hard to make an impact. And it's a great game. It's a completely different game. It's like if you took an NBA player and put him at Rucker Park. They play a completely different style of basketball, and the game's going to look. It's more fun to watch a game at Rucker Park than it is in the NBA. The NBA becomes this slowed down product that's no fun. Arena Football, we're scoring every couple seconds. The average over under is going to be about 75-80. So you're going to see touchdowns consistently.
Okay. Something I don't know about as a Giants fan. Like I don't get to see a lot of touchdowns.
Like I don't think you guys saw 80 points all season. I mean,
probably not. I don't know if we saw 80 points in the last 3 years.
So you're dealing with that. You're dealing with a game that's a lot more accessible. At the end of every game, it's a big part of it. Parents bring their kids down onto the field, sign autographs with all the players. Yeah. That's a mainstay of the game. If a ball goes into the stands, you get to keep it, or it gets swapped for another previously used ball so we can get that one back for the game. But if a ball goes into the stands and you catch it, you're leaving that arena with a ball. If a player comes into the stands, you unfortunately have to give the player back. We know some folks would like to take them with them, but you got to give them back. We need them back to finish the game. Now, after the game, talk to them. It's up to you, But it's a great game. It's exciting. And our big focus has been accessibility. It was really important to us. We didn't put our games behind a paywall. We don't want to do that. We want to make sure they're viewable. So they're all going to be streamable on a new streaming service called Evergreen now. Great company, fantastic organization based out of Cleveland. They're really excited to be involved with us. So you can watch all the games live there, except our game of the week, which is going to be live on Vice Sports. Vice TV undergoing this transition. now has live sports. Vice has live sports, just like Hulu had live sports. Vice has live sports. It's just better.
Okay.
So you have all these things. We have a great partnership that we just announced this week with Hulk Hogan's Real American Beer. So we have a kickoff
I
event.
saw that. I went on the website, and the first thing you're hit with is Real American Beer. It's right
Real
on
American
the front.
Beer. Yes. On Friday, Jeff Fisher, our commissioner, and Hulk Hogan are going to be doing a live interview on about 5:30 p.m. So you can watch that on Evergreen now, get filled in on everything that's going to happen. And so it's a fun game. It's an exciting game. You can bet on it on Better Edge, code AF1, and Better Edge is going to take care of you with a free deposit with some bonus reward there. And you can play fantasy football and all fantasy sports, and as with any alt footballer new startup, there's the off-field soap opera, which is sometimes just as enthralling as the game. I will say, we had some bad news last night. We were told one of our franchises or one of our teams was dropping out at the last second.
Okay.
You can read all of the league's thoughts in the press release. I haven't add or expand on in that, but I can tell you that the press release is not going to be a boring press release because nothing is boring in arena football. Even our drama is great. So with that being said, we're excited. We got a great game Saturday night between the Nashville Cats, who are coached by legendary head coach Darren Arbett, and the Southwest Kansas Storm. So we got big city versus small town, because no one knows where Dodge City, Kansas is on a map.
No.
It's quite literally the city that invented the phrase "get out of Dodge." So we're excited.
Where do you think the edge is? Where does someone that has no idea about arena, is there an edge? What's the strategy when you go into this? Is it just decide your favorite team? Is there a way to get an edge on this?
Yes, there definitely is. You need to be very in tune to the transactions that are happening every day, because rosters are small, 21 guys on an active game day roster, only 8 guys on the field at a time. So guys are playing both ways, which means that if somebody's hurt, if somebody gets cut and you need to make a change, you need to know who that new guy coming in is. I mean, I know I've seen teams bring in receivers late season who were just guys they brought in for the last 3 weeks of the year did great. Last year, the Nashville Cats brought in a guy who hadn't played arena football in 4 years, and he almost took him to the championship game straight off his couch. Straight off his couch to champion was almost what happened. And that's just the kind of excitement you can't get anywhere else. The big thing you always want to look at in arena football, there are 3 keys I always want to look at. I want to look at coaching, I want to look at quarterback, and I want to look at receiver. You need to have all 3 of those positions. Defense matters a lot less unless you have a defense that can steal multiple possessions.
Okay.
You're going to get one stop in arena football, and it needs to come at the right time. If you can get 2 or 3, you have to win that game, because it's a 50-yard field. It's played on an ice rink. It's a 50-yard by 85-foot field, so it's tight. Everything's right in there. You gotta make stops when you can. You got to take advantage and play opportunistic football. But there's going to be big plays. There's going to be guys over the walls, rebounds off the net. It's got everything. So when we're looking at this game, I obviously can't make picks, but I can inform you based on
tell me about the teams.
That I know.
What do we need to know? We'll take the degenerate part over. You can't give picks. So inform us about these teams. What do we need to know about these 2 teams?
So coming up on Saturday, obviously we've got Southwest Kansas and the Nashville Cats. The Nashville Cats are 9.5-point dogs right now. And Coach Darren Arbett is a legend in arena football. He's the Bill Belichick of arena football. Just bring the system, bring the process year over year, gonna bring the guys. However, he's been out of the game for 5, 6, 7 years now. So I'm not sure how he's going to make that return right now. So he's coming in. He has a quarterback question. He's got 2 good guys, Corey Curtis and Jake Dunaway. Jake Dunaway spent some time in the CFL last year. Corey Curtis spent some time in Seahawks rookie mini camp in the spring as well. So both guys who have that high level of pedigree. The question mark I have when I look at Nashville is I'm not sure how this receiver room is going to shake out. They have some experienced guys. They have some new guys, but they don't have a guy that I look at and I've seen on an arena field recently and been that's the dude. And without that guy who can take over, who can win consistently one-on-one, it's going to be tough. Now, they have better line play. They have much better line play than Southwest Kansas, I think. I think the challenge is going to come in that Jalen Morton, who's been all over UFL, CFL, NFL. Jalen Morton's the Southwest Kansas Storm quarterback, and he's got no questions that he's the quarterback. And I've been told by multiple people that Jalen Morton is out there throwing bullets in arena. So Jalen Morton's about to look like Josh Allen with this ball going goal line to goal line in 2 seconds flat. And the thing that's going to help him out is he's got a receiver, Daquan Bailey-Brown, who can run just about 50 yards in 2 seconds flat. So with that, Gary Thomas is in his second year as an arena football coach. If you really know ball, you'll recognize him from Last Chance U. He made some brief appearances. He was the Dodge City coach on the Independence, Kansas years, who did not like Jason Brown, and rightfully so. So he does things right. He's a really good and talented coach. He's in his second year in arena, but he's really shown he's shown an ability to adapt, learn, and grow in the game. And he's brought some key pieces back. So when you're looking at it like that, you have two teams that are going to be pretty evenly matched. But Southwest Kansas is at home. Home field matters in arena football. You get to sleep in your own bed. You don't have to travel into town, especially if you're going all the way to Dodge City. You don't have to travel to Dodge City. Friendly confines of home. Dodge City, apparently home of some of the best tacos in the world.
Okay, that's good to know.
Not something I knew. When you go to Dodge City, apparently street tacos everywhere.
Okay. Amazing. Okay, so you mentioned Josh Allen, like a little bit of a comp there. Like, who would be like the Saquon of arena football?
The Saquon of arena football, the most impactful running back is going to be a guy on Salina named Tracy Brooks. Tracy Brooks. So running back in arena football is a position that's kind of undergoing an interesting transition right now, because traditionally it was you put a defensive tackle back there and he just blocked, and you might give him the ball to run in the line for 2 yards. With the change, there's been some changes. Quarterbacks have moved back into shotgun from under center, and there's been more lateral movement to spread things out and get guys moving. And Tracy Brooks is a guy who's really excelled in that. He does well on the jet motion across or getting out in a route. So he is probably the most dynamic running back right now, and is the engine that makes the Salina Liberties offense go. You know, he got hurt last year before their playoff game, and they still played well, but they just didn't look like the same team without Tracy, because he just kept everything going. They kick off our Vice schedule next Sunday, March 16th in primetime, 6 p.m. Eastern. So tune in, see Tracy Brooks, get to know him. And he's just a great guy. Like, he's just got this joy for life, love for the game. It's spectacular. Yeah.
We love that. And then, let's do one more comp so that people get kind of like, who's like the Puka Nakua or like the Justin Jefferson, like who's the like sought after wide receiver that we should look for?
The number one receiver is definitely Darius Prince right now. Darius Prince spent the last couple years in Albany. And there was a big moment this offseason where it became clear he wasn't going back to Albany. So he changed teams. We hosted a big decision night for him. So we had Darius on. No one knew where Darius was going except for the team that had signed him earlier that day. And even then, we didn't know until a few hours before, because there were still contract negotiations going on and contract finalization. So Darius went to Corpus Christi and is now part of that Tritons team. So that's huge for them. They're in their first year at this level. So that's super exciting to see them land a talented guy like that. Another second choice. I know I'm cheating a little bit because I didn't ask for a second choice, but I'm going to take a second choice. If we look out in Southwest Kansas, you got a guy named Dontra Matthews, who is just an incredible arena veteran, just super savvy. And you hear these guys talk, and the young guys talk about learning from them. It's that they think about how one route concept sets up another concept, and they run the same route 4 different ways, and that's how they're always open.
That's awesome. I was so excited. I was really excited when you were coming on, because I live in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and they just announced that they're bringing arena football back, but it's a different league. So I'm like, it's a different league. So I
wouldn't get your hopes up too much about the Rampage and the NGL. That's just I would be very cautious before I got your hopes up about that organization.
Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. But I think this is gonna be fun. I think I'm looking at the lines right now. I think I'm gonna end up taking Southwest Kansas, so the Storm, to cover the 9.5 at home, even money that is right now. That's what I've taken away from this. You've been fantastic. I hope everyone goes and checks out Better Edge. You can bet on there. Let people know where they can find you, and then I'll let you go.
They can find me at Adam Pelletier. I'm less active there right now. Check out all the great stuff that the AF1 is doing at AF1 Football. We got great content. We got great social stuff coming the rest of this week, and we're super excited. So give us a chance. Like, it's arena football. It's all about chances. So help these players live their dream and get that chance, please.
100%. And this is the time to do it because there's not a lot of NFL things to do. I appreciate you. We'll have to get you on again very soon.
All right. Sounds good. Have a good one, Stephie.
See ya. SGPN has partnered up with Edge Boost, the premier Visa debit card for bettors. An Edge Boost card allows you to avoid the hassle of having your card denied at the sports book. Hey, when that happens, DFS site, sweepstakes site, racetrack, or casino. Plus, you can earn up to $750 per month in cash back rewards for using your Edge Boost card. And you know your money is safe because the card is FDIC insured. The best part is no credit checks, and it's completely free. Sign up today and use the promo code SGPN so you get a better cash rewards and instant tier 2 status. That's edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by MyBookie AG. MyBookie is your place to bet every sport, plus props for every game and live dealer casino. MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of locations, easy deposit, and lightning fast payouts using crypto. Head to mybookie.ag, promo code SMALLS with 2 L's for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000 plus a $10 casino chip. mybookie.ag, promo code SMALLS. And now we are going to talk some NFL for the first time on the Stephie Smalls Show, part of the SGPN network. We have Terrell, everyone that was a fan listener of the Stephie Smalls Show prior to this already knows Terrell because he comes on all the time. WNBA, NBA, the college experience podcasts, betting pros. Also, fellow Giants fan, we're having fun. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm good. I'm
Wow.
Well, it's been better. It has been better. We've had a time, haven't we? It's been an off season.
Yes. The thing is, I'm like already an insane person. I think the average person would say I'm like somewhat of an insane person. And I was fairly numb to the Giants like this past season. This draft season's low-key turning me into a full-blown like circus monkey. Like I'm going a little bit crazy here. We have a draft coming up. Fun. We have the 3rd overall pick.
What draft? Military draft? Are we talking about a military draft? I mean, I hope not the NFL draft.
I wish. I would rather enter myself and enroll. How do you enroll in the draft? How does that go? I would rather enroll in the draft than deal with this draft season for the Giants. The big conversation right now, which once again, the Giants have found themselves in a spot where they are picking in the top 5. It's a very, I don't even know. I think it's been very clear that Cam Ward is the consensus QB1. It's this Cam Ward versus Sanders. At 3, what do the Giants do? There's so much talk about the Giants getting the 1st overall pick too. Looking at the odds, and I will say MyBookie still has this number that I got.
MyBookie is crazy.
MyBookie's crazy because, and if you're listening to this, go code SMALLS. You can still get the New York Giants to have the 1st overall pick at plus 550, which I bet on 225. That number on DraftKings is minus 105 right now. Mm-hmm. It is the same exact number that the Tennessee Titans have. Every day that we get closer to the draft, I feel less confident that that's happening while the media goes the other direction. Where are you at with that?
I don't know. I think that It's a possibility. I will say that in all my years of being a Giants fan and all the time that I've ever heard speculation of what the Giants were ever going to do in any given offseason, it's never been correct. So whatever the
No.
media has ever put out there is never been what they done. It's always been something else, and we've been like, oh, the media wasn't talking about Daniel Jones when they drafted Daniel Jones. The media was talking about Dwayne Haskins. That was still the thing. Daniel Jones was like nope, that's where we're going with this.
Yeah.
So I'm not really I'm not really sold that a trade is going to happen. I think that the lower number you can get on or the higher number, I mean, you can get on a Tennessee Titans, you should just go ahead and take it, because it feels like the only team that has had any traction of saying anything is the Giants, and I don't think that's going to come to fruition. I think the Titans are just going to stick there and make the pick.
I think they're going to make the pick, but I also like they're shopping the pick. The Titans are in an interesting spot because they have a new GM. So, these new GMs, they got a little bit of extra time. Like he can fuck up this year. It's not that in the world. He's going to keep his job next year, like whatever. And you don't necessarily fuck up the pick if you do take Abdul Carter either. So like, is there still value there in Abdul just being the straight up number one pick?
Yeah, I think I think that's where I would look at it. If it's not Cam Ward and it's the Titans are probably taking Abdul Carter. I don't think that they're interested in the Travis Hunter discussion. And it's evidently clear that even though they don't have a quarterback, they're not going quarterback with the pick, and they'd rather go test out the free agency and see who they can get out on the open market. Like, I don't think that there's anybody that's been reporting any situation where if the Titans keep this pick, they're actually going to be making a quarterback decision. So I think the Titans keep the pick, and I think it's Abdul Carter. So I think the value's on Abdul Carter to go number one overall right now.
Yeah, I did bet. I think it was like 2 days after the draft ended. I have a 30 to 1 on Abdul Carter, so maybe I'm a little bit biased, and I still like them. You can still find that out there at plus 210. I think there's also a world, maybe an insane world. I'll say this much, and this is like not the podcast or the episode to talk about it. I'll talk about it, I'm sure, at some point. I think the Sanders hate has gotten like so fucking out of control to the point where it's just like no one is reporting anything with like any clarity. That's like starting to get super obnoxious. Like, fine. I think that Cam Ward has like that like calm, cool collectiveness that you cannot teach. I think he evades pressure, manipulates the pocket, yada, yada, yada. I think that Sanders, though, is not like people talking about him falling out of the first round. Like, can we just be fucking for real for 1 minute? Like, can you guys please like be just a little bit serious? Is there a world, though, where Cleveland could fall in love with Sanders? Like, is there a world where maybe Joe knows, like, he knows that the Titans are going to take Abdul, and he's like, whatever, we'll just roll and gamble with it with Cleveland. Like, maybe Cleveland takes Sanders.
I think that's where things start to get dicey when you get to 2, because in my world, Tennessee doesn't make a decision and kind of stays there. And number 1 overall is just an expensive pick, but number 2, it makes you feel a little bit better. And so if you let Tennessee sit there and take Carter at 1, and now you're staring at Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders at 2, and if you're Cleveland, the phone is ringing, and the phone is ringing off the hook probably. And so that's where I feel like we start to see the parity. Maybe a Las Vegas Raiders trade up. Maybe the Giants trade up to avoid somebody else trading up above them 2-2. And they just go the one pick thing that teams do randomly in the NFL. Like, yeah, I think that for Cleveland, I would believe that they would probably sell themselves on, we can make this work another year and figure this out. And we can move back and get some of these draft picks and this capital and all this stuff that we spent up for Deshaun Watson and all the horrible decisions we made. Let's start rebuilding this roster and getting some extra tools in here. So I think Cleveland is really my target to trade down at 2.
Yeah, and I think that makes like a lot of sense. And there's just so much talk. And I think we look back, and I'm not comparing like QB classes, but even last year, like there was not a lot of mock drafts that had Bo Nix going in the first round, Michael Penix going in the first round. Like, QB is just a totally different market, and it's a totally different scene these days. Obviously, you have the Titans that if you want to go with Mayo Boy, fine. There's still like vets out there that you could probably figure something out with. The Browns, kind of like the Giants too, both have quarterbacks on the books. Like ours happens to not be on our roster, but they have a quarterback on their roster. It's very, very expensive. So where do you go? Where do you go from there? I don't know if you saw this before. I saw someone put out a mock draft. I got to pull the exact thing up. That had the Tennessee Titans taking Sanders 1 overall.
Okay.
Cleveland Browns taking Ward, and us taking Jackson Dart. And I said, I will quite literally post cheeks on the timeline if that happens, because I promise you that's not happening. That's gross.
Third overall?
What are we doing? Come on. Too much.
Third overall? I think that's I and those are the ones that I just like, okay, let's not pay this any mind. You're not thinking clearly here. It's not there's a clear cut. We know who the first 4 picks are going to be. We just got to figure out the order. I think people are trying to talk themselves into Shedeur Sanders sliding. I don't think that's the case. I think that's all the media trying to talk him into sliding. I think NFL teams have been talking about it since last season, that they are very much interested in Shedeur Sanders, seeing what that happens. And if he gets into the right system, he's going to be a really, really good quarterback for somebody. And so I think that more teams are probably like, hey, if there's a chance that Tennessee doesn't make the trade with New York or anybody, and Tennessee goes Carter at 1, and there's still 2 quarterbacks, I think everybody is very much interested in calling Cleveland, because they know the Giants are not coming off of that pick.
Right. Yeah, no, you're totally right. And then also you look at, before we talk about some of the moves and things that are going on right now, like Abdul Carter's injury, like I just don't see, I don't foresee that impacting him. Like other than maybe not at 1, but even my thing is he's not getting out of the top 3, whether his half of his leg is off and they can reattach it before the season starts. You know what I mean?
And it's how Philly won that Super Bowl. Yeah,
exactly. And I think, I mean, if teams are smart, it makes me sick. It's episode 2 being on the network, and like it makes me sick to say this, but like give credit where credit is due. Like, goddamn, like the Philly just like has it down pat on a way to build a fucking team and to run a franchise right now.
No comment.
It's just annoying. It's getting annoying.
It must be fun having competent people in the organization making decisions. All I know is whatever the Giants do is going to be the wrong decision. Like I can promise you that. Whatever they do, whatever it is, that's why I'm not excited at all, because whatever it is, if they picked Cam Ward, then I guess Cam Ward was the wrong decision. He's actually a bust. If they picked Shedeur, well, I guess Shedeur was actually a bust.
Exactly. Like, it doesn't matter who, it's going to be a bust. They're a bust.
Yeah, whatever. Like if they don't go quarterback and they end up going make Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter, whatever it is, whoever they get in the open market is going to suck. Like, yeah. Joe Shane does not know how to evaluate the quarterback position. And because he gave Daniel Jones that money, I know for a fact he has no idea how to evaluate the quarterback position.
I think it was a Mara decision, but we don't have to. I hate that little string bean. Let's talk about some other stuff. We'll get off the Giants talk. Genty is obviously like, he's one of the top guys in this class here. When the odds opened, the Cowboys were the favorite to draft him. It's a deep running back class, but still, Jerry Jones loves to sell some jerseys too. The Bears are actually the favorite right now at plus 225. Interestingly enough, Dallas and Vegas have the same odds, tied for second to take him at plus 275. And Vegas is a team that I think they had the lowest PFF rushing grade in the entire league last season. So they could very much use a running back. Is there one of those 3 teams that you would put your money on? Are you still rolling with the Cowboys, or do you see one of those other teams taking him?
I feel pretty confident that Cowboys aren't going to get lucky enough to go ahead and get Jinxie here.
I'm starting to like them interesting. I don't know. I think there's a world.
I don't know. I feel like that's just too. It's too chalk. I'd rather not go chalk.
Okay.
I think the Raiders are very interesting. I think the Steelers are really, really interesting.
Yes, that would be probably my second favorite there.
I think the Steelers are very interesting. I really want to go with, but that's just too easy. I want to go with somebody that already has a really good running back. Like I want somebody that's gonna like, and we're all gonna be like on draft night. Why did they do that? They already have this guy, and because it's gonna be the exact same thing the Lions did.
The Saints,
I
wouldn't can't go that far down the board. None of these. The thing is, none of these teams have running backs. Like,
yeah.
Cowboys is Saints have what? Kamara is the only one, and then I guess Broncos doesn't. Yeah, Broncos don't have one.
What is Jacksonville doing?
I don't know.
What is Jacksonville doing?
That's far.
I mean, how high do we? How high?
He's not going to slip that far though.
I know that I'm about to get out of here. I don't want to waste any more time. How high do we think that Jinxie's going? Because is it Zeke level highs? Is this like Gibbs? Like, how high?
Genty's going high. Genty's going very high.
Why not Jacksonville?
Where are they picking?
5.
Oh.
Is it 5 high? Is that too high?
No.
Why not? Why? I mean, it just, first of all, I have no idea what's going on in Jacksonville. I think that's the first thing. Second, I could see a world where they sit there and say, "Oh yeah, we're stuck with Goldilocks, and Goldilocks." Wait, do we still curse on here, right? Yeah, Goldilocks fucking sucks, and and so we don't want to give him the ball, and we want to do anything possible not to give him the ball. So if we have Jinxie, we have some combination of either ETN or Bigsby, and we say we're gonna go ahead and just run the ball all the time. Like, I don't know. I mean,
40-1.
It's not bad. I throw a little.
I don't like that.
I talked myself into it.
You kind of talked me into it a little bit. I'm gonna.
I feel like it's gonna be a place we hate. Like, everybody's gonna hear Ashton Jinxie get drafted, and we're gonna be like, "Ew, why'd he go there?" Like,
it is gonna be gross. What if the Patriots just go AWOL?
Oh, that would be great. Like, that would, and look, like, we got a young quarterback that's mobile. We got a great, I could see it's gonna be somebody off.
They go and get like a DK or I don't know. I don't think Devontae is gonna go somewhere not warm, but like they go and get a wide receiver. They draft Genty and then figure the rest out. They got money to spend. They have their quarterback. Like why not? 18-1. I'll take the sprinkle on it.
Yeah, I'm not interested in anybody in the Jinxie market that is under 10-1. Now that I think
about it.
I don't want anything that is predictable.
I don't hate it.
I think that they're going to be so unpredictable. Somebody's just going to pull the trigger and be like, yes, let me do it. Yes.
I love it. Okay, now you got me going. Now I'm going to have to end up putting some bets in for this. Tell people where they can find you before I let you get out of here.
All right, at @reallyreal _ on X. That is where you can find me. NBA Gambling Podcast, WNBA Gambling Podcast will be up soon.
All right, I'll see you soon.
All right.
And before we talk some golf here, Rhythm is throwing an epic March Madness party, and you're all invited. Users of Rhythm are going to be on Wednesday, March 19th at Stadium Swim, my favorite place in the entire world, circa Las Vegas. Free drinks, plus you get to hang out with the guys from the Sports Gambling Podcast and the College Experience. And it gets better. Rhythm is also giving away a $250 March Madness future for one random lucky Rhythm user. Even if you can't make the party, you can still win the future bet. Just sign up for your 7-day free trial at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. Come by and use Rhythm to help you fill out your bracket and make some bets while you are there. A free party plus a chance to win $250 future bet. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/party. And Underdog, of course, good place to go check out some of the golf options on there. NBA, NHL, college basketball, whatever your sport is, you can cash in big with Underdog Fantasy Pick'em. Underdog is offering a Luka Doncic discount for every Lakers game for the rest of the regular season. And of course, for football diehards, Pick'em projections for select players for, again, the combine. Gonna take this out of here, but you can stay up with Smalls. We can get into some of the golf with Matt here next. Use code SMALLS to claim your special pick and first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credit. And now finally to talk some golf with me, my dear friend, Matt Gannon. Matt, how's it going?
Happy to be on the show. I've heard so much about it this last week, and I'm ready to. We haven't talked in so long, so I'm happy to have me on for some golf. Let's do it.
Yeah, and you are like boots on the ground. Like, tell me about that. Tell me about that. The company that you've been working with, because I was able to catch some of the pod earlier. You're wearing more of a shirt than you were wearing on that podcast that I was watching. Yeah. But you have like the luxury of going to these events, which is awesome.
Yeah, sometimes I try to make it a bit provocative on the shows and expose as much as possible, but we try to keep it classy for the Stephie Smalls Show. So yeah, I get to travel to a good percentage of the events, at least the cool events. Yeah. So with the company Vincerix Golf, check it out if you've never heard of it. Some really, really cool insight over there. And yeah, I'm going to do this entire Florida swing. So we did last week, this week, and then we have the Players next week, Tampa, and then potential spoiler tease, maybe the Masters in a few weeks. So we'll see.
Maybe. Okay, so you've been there. What are like, I know you like have absorbed so much information. Or like the 3 like takeaways from like the last couple of days that you've been there? Like 3 big ones.
Yeah, hot take. Bay Hill's a hard golf course. It's gonna be.
Really?
It's gonna be a challenge for sure. But I saw some inklings on Twitter that the rough's being cut a little bit. Whether they cut it, whether they don't cut it, you're not going to want to be in it. This is not a golf course where you're even golfers like Tony Finau, the strongest guys on tour, were really struggling with middle irons from the rough. So avoid it at all costs. I will say the fairways are a little bit softer than normal. We got some rain here. They blew the weather horn around like 1:30, 1:15 today and pulled everyone off the course. So it's a little bit wetter than normal, which is not the best for the firm conditions, but it's still going to firm up over the weekend. The fairways are going to be a little bit easier to hit, but if you do miss them, good luck out of the rough.
Awesome. So I do quad Ds on the show. It's actually been a minute since I've done it. So the first one is a dad bet. What's like your favorite bet of the week? If you give out more than one, it's totally fine. But if you had to pick one, like who's your daddy this week? What's the bet that you feel very confident about?
I would say Tommy Ladd to finish inside the top 10.
Okay.
I talked with this man named Dom Santorino a few days ago. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
No, on the golf gambling podcast.
Yeah, golf gambling podcast, Truth or Dom. We both talked about Tommy, and I wasn't so sure about it. He kind of sold me, and then the more I looked into it, the more I watched Tommy. It's a generational flusher. He's a bit unserious. He's not going to win, but he will grind for 72 holes. Even top 10? You can't do the top 10?
Top 10, no. You can maybe get me there top 20. I can't do it.
I'm sure the top 20 number would be doable too, but like it's a 72-man field, so I don't know how. I mean, it might be like minus 110 for a top 20, but I think top 10 around like, I'm not sure what the number is to be honest, but I think top 10 is going to be a good look this week.
I don't know why. I don't know if it's because, and I guess he's not, maybe now is the time to jump on him because I think for a while there, he was so popular and everyone was like week after week betting him. And it's like, he's not doing what you want. You were just pissing the money away. But I do think it's a nice fit for him. Actually, I found myself this week liking a lot of guys that I don't love all the time. I'm not the biggest Rory person, very, very known. I'm actually going to put in his top 10 because I think minus 115 is a really, really nice number.
No, that's
here
a lot. That's hitting. That is guaranteed.
That's like crazy. I think like, especially if, I probably said it on the Monday show, but even if like you don't want to get there with like, though it's too short of odds, whatever your excuse is that you don't want to get there with Rory, me just not liking Rory, top 10 minus 115.
Why don't you like Rory? What?
I don't
Why don't you
know.
like Rory? Is it like the way that he like
Just
walks? Is the way he looks?
everything about it. Like he's like irritates me. I don't know. I
No,
just can't do it. But
that's a guaranteed. That's a guaranteed.
yeah, I'm even being like brave enough. I'm gonna take him in my one and done too, I think.
Yeah, if you haven't used them, there's not many better spots for Rory. I
Right.
mean, this
I'm
is a golf
thinking,
course
what do you
he's
do?
tore up.
Like, when do I take him later? If not,
No, there's nowhere else to use him. I think this is a great spot for Rory. So I think I used
okay.
him earlier in the year, but I mean, Rory put on a generational driving display the last 2 days. Like
Yeah.
my jaw was on the floor. I mean, hot take. He's a good driver, but on this golf course, you're gonna need it. And if you're in the rough, if you're missing, if you're not long, just literally pack your bags and go to Disney like tomorrow. You just don't even go to the golf
Yeah.
course. Don't go.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm
Do
pretty
not.
sure, isn't he like, wasn't he the only player that like, did he like drive the green on, was it like the 10th hole last year? Like, I'm pretty sure he's like the only player that did that last year or something. Like,
I don't know. I don't think he did that at Bay Hill. He drove the
no,
green
okay.
at I
Okay.
remember he did something at Austin Country Club a year and a half
Okay.
ago.
Regardless, he's a
remember.
lot. This is, I just think that it makes sense here to use him.
No, I mean, this is a golf course he's played well. He's won here before. He's played well here a ton of times,
Mhm.
and it screams Rory. Like you need the what you need is driver, and that's what he has. That's what Rory has.
Okay. Before we move on to like these next ones, and I'll get through them a little bit quicker than I just said on that. How did Decky look? Because another guy I feel like I'm always on the wrong side of, but I did end up getting there outright with him. I see he's a little bit popular this week more than I would like him to be. But how did he look while you were there these last couple of days?
Decky is someone who, no matter what I see, I try to avoid him, because if I see
Yeah.
greatness from Hideki, I'm like, all right, he's gonna play well, and then he'll probably like withdraw or something. And if I see him looking like shit, he like when I was in Hawaii at the Sony or the Century, he looked like shit. He was like lethargic, not looking like Hideki. He broke the record for score in the PGA Tour event. So I tried to avoid Hideki, but I will say he looked good. He was striping it.
Yeah.
He looked to be in good spirits.
Okay.
He got his team around him, and yeah. So Hideki looks solid.
I feel like he's just the type of person where like you can't figure him out anyways. Like that video of him like when Brooks was giving him the cake and he's just like speaking perfect English. It's like you know how to speak English and you just like don't speak English ever. But like I think I love that Hideki. Like I think everything about him is just like he's just all golf. So I'm all for it. If you were to pick a dog for the week, who are you looking at?
Wait, you said hole 10 or hole 1 before at Bay Hill?
I said
when
10.
You said Roy, the dog leg right. When he went over the houses,
yeah.
Rory did drive the green. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I thought you said hole 1.
I thought I was making, and I'm like, fuck, Matt. I'm making that up. Okay.
No, hole 10, because it's the hole where he drove it over the houses. I was thinking of a different hole.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Makes sense. Okay. Steph's gone. Steph is gone. So now this is the Matt Gannon show. I don't know where she went, and she was asking about a dog of the week. So I'm just gonna roll with it.
Hey, it's producer Ryan. I don't know what happened to Steph.
Hey.
We've got technical difficulties here. I can't seem to get her back.
Well, looks like the show has a new title now, and I'm sorry, Steph, because I'm taking over.
Yeah, why don't you take over? Give us your best bets.
Yeah, so she was talking about the dog of the week. I'm gonna go to the Puerto Rico Open. The dog of the week is Carl Phillips, because Carl Phillips is an upset man right now. I don't know if you know about the lore of Carl Phillips, but his good buddy Nick Dunlap has stolen his ex-girlfriend. Now Dunlap's got her. Carl Phillips is left in shambles, but Carl Phillips has something that Nick Dunlap does not have. Oh, is she back? And that's an elite driver. There she is.
Oh, it's my camera. This is a horrible camera. Amazing. Wait, someone stole someone's girlfriend?
Oh, yeah, you heard my story? Yeah.
Yes, I could hear you the whole time.
Okay, yeah. So Carl Phillips and Nick Dunlap used to date the same girl. Now, Nick Dunlap dates her. Carl Phillips is left in the dust. So I think he's the dog of the week. He's playing the Puerto Rico Open, by the way. He's 70-1 because there's 2 events.
She's also a babe, if we could be honest. I followed her today.
I've heard some bad things about her. I mean, visually she's great,
Well, she looks
but
not very
she looks
nice.
great. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm gonna go with Carl Phillips, dog of the week in every single market.
Okay, I love it. Wait, I need to place that and tell you on that. I know at least you appreciate his fashion with me, but Jason Day, like I'm gonna be a little bit conservative here, and I'm just gonna give out the top there. Thank you. See, like people need to realize that they're so. What do you want to see? Under Armour's horrible, like navy on navy. Like we've seen it all before. It's giving a little bit of spice. Like he's one of what I think. Like I mean, only a handful of guys in the field that has literally won here. His long iron play, the scrambling, like driving distance too, like intrigues me here. 5 top 25 finishes over the last like 7 or 8 years, 2 top 15 finishes last 4. I think he's playing some pretty good golf right now for what we've seen of him the last couple of years. So like a top 20, I ended up getting there on the outright too. And part of that is probably me just glazing Jason Day, but I don't think it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, no, actually, Jason Day, this is the first time I've been out there so long. I actually met him today because he always sees me. I always wear the Malbon hat. And he always gives me like a little nod or point. And I got like more access this week. And so I've been able to get to the practice green, to the driving range. And I walked right by him and introduced myself. And he's like, yeah, I always see you out there in his beautiful ass accent. So yeah, Jason Day, great vibes, great guy. And I do think what you're saying is true. He's got some nice driving distance. He's got the short game for sure. Can he win right now? I don't know. I don't know if he can win, but the top 20, I'm with you on the top 20.
But I kind of felt that way too, like that year that he kind of like did his bounce back. It was like, he's not going to win. And then he did. So it's whatever. And I think with golf too, it is fun to bet on guys that you do love rooting for. If you had like a dumb fuck bet that you like don't recommend, or like a guy you're playing in DFS, like who's like your dumb fuck of the week that you are like, please don't tail me, but I'm doing it.
Cam Davis in every single market. Cam Davis outright. Cam Davis top 5. Cam Davis to win by 4. Wherever you can get Cam Davis, do it because he has the talent to do that. Will he do that? No, probably not. But he is objectively one of the most skilled golfers in the field, and he just can never put it together all in 1 week. But he's got the talent.
Yeah, pretty classic of a lot of guys. So mine is this is what is it? This number is plus 14131. This is a parlay. It's Scotty top 5, Hideki top 20, Booby Mac top 20, Tom Kim top 20, Sahith top 20, and Minwoo top 20. That's going to be my dumb fuck parlay of the week. But I like the odds on that. Like, I don't think any of it's like outlandish.
140 to 1. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I mean, a short field, someone's got to finish in those spots. I think I like that. Yeah. I like everyone you said. I really liked what I saw from Tom Kim.
Not fuck up, but why not? If you want to have a little bit of fun with it. Okay, who's your one and done? I know I gave mine out. So the last D here, who's your like one and done of the week?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the guy that I mentioned earlier, Tommy. I wanted to go to Rory, but I think Tommy's gonna be the option this week, just because I don't know where else I'm gonna run him out, and we know if the weather gets bad, if guys quit, Tommy's not going to quit. He'll grind for 72 holes. He'll have no chance to ever win the tournament and then finish 3rd on the leaderboard somehow, because that's what Tommy does. And in a one and done game, that's all that matters. So I'm down for Tommy there.
Absolutely. Okay, before I let you get out of here, so you obviously like Tommy. We're gonna put a parlay together really quick.
Yeah,
you want a top 20, top 10? You like the top 10? We can do the top 10.
Yeah, what's the number on top 10?
Top 10. Where is Tommy? Oh, he's really higher up there than I thought he was. Okay,
yeah, he's always just high on the. Okay, that's a good number.
Okay, all right. I have Hideki in there. I'm gonna leave Hideki in there. Who's another guy that you're high on this week?
Well, I really like what you said about Rory, and I mean, what's he top 5? Is he like plus 150?
Plus 140, pretty close.
No, not enough value. No,
okay. Not enough.
Okay, so Tommy, you know who's gonna hit fairways, who's gonna hit greens? Russell Henley will, Bermuda Merchant.
Okay, Russell Henley's a good call.
Henley top 20.
Okay, let's see what we got in Henley top 20. Plus 115.
Beautiful. And then how about deeper down the board? Okay. A well-balanced guy.
Did he look good? No.
I think
Hovland?
No.
Hate
No,
him.
no, no, no.
Okay, we hate Hovland. We hate Hovland.
Top 30, top 20 on a guy with some longer odds down the board. Very well rounded. Andrew Novak.
Okay.
See what that makes the parlay.
Okay, so that gets us to 43 to 1.
Beautiful. You don't
$10
put that in
gets
there?
you 441. I love it.
What are you going to do with that 441?
I don't know. That's a great question. Probably please send the Giants to take Cam Moore in the draft, or not take Cam Moore in the draft. Something else. Maybe Jordan Spieth to win something in the upcoming future. I'm one of the people that's
not
upset.
in. What'd you say?
I'm upset Spieth's not playing this week.
Yeah, he's upset too. I mean, but he didn't earn his way in. I don't know.
I know.
I mean, when they let Rafael Campos in the field because he wrote a nice letter, they don't let Spieth in the field. It is kind of funny, but it is what it is.
And it's like, even when Spieth was playing like shitty, he still played well here. So it's kind of annoying that like you're like taking away a tournament that he like actually plays well at.
Yeah, it's a course that he should play well on for sure. So
yeah. All right. Any last thoughts before I wrap up and let you get out of here?
Just don't forget about Carl Phillips in Puerto Rico. I would say make more of your viewing on the Puerto Rico Open than Bay Hill, because we only get it once a year. Yeah, just enjoy the Puerto Rico Open. I'll leave it at that.
Amazing.
I guess it's me again. I don't know who's coming on next.
No, it's all right.
What is going on? What is going on? Okay, tell me where they can find you. I'm going to go off my computer camera, apparently. This is the longest show I've been listening.
Yeah, thank you for letting me join. I hope we speak soon. You could find me on all platforms at Matt_Gannon_, and definitely follow Vincerix Golf on Twitter, vincerix.com. And that's it.
Do it. They do fantastic work. Checked into it literally today. I have to go finish your podcast. And I'll see you guys on Monday. Hopefully we get the I think Matt broke somehow my camera. It's only been a problem with you since you've been on. Hit like, subscribe, rate, review, and I will see you guys on Monday.
Peace.
Watch him make it, break it, break it, break it.